Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. How to memorize Quran in 5 simple steps. In this video, I'm going to walk you through very briefly on how to memorize the Quran, and this was something that helped me in my past, so hopefully it can help somebody out today. So first advice that I would share with all of you is to purchase a small Quran like this, or have something like this. I've had this for a long time in Mecca, so have something like this, a dedicated Quran, or you can use obviously an iPad, but I wouldn't recommend that because obviously if you have an iPad, it means that you have all the other applications out there. So get a dedicated Quran and don't ever change the script. So advice number 2 is stick with one mushaf. So get one Quran and stick with it. So that's the first thing. Second is, when you want to memorize a new verse, make sure that you look and read the page and listen to a famous reciter like Sheikh Husari from Egypt, rahimahullah, Sheikh Minshawi, Abdul Basit, or any other famous sheikhs, and listen to their recitation first before you read. And that's the second piece of advice, just to listen to the recitation first. Thirdly, make sure that you have a teacher that you can read to. It doesn't matter if you're doing via Zoom. I know a lot of you guys do not have the time, so I would recommend getting a teacher via Zoom, a qualified teacher via Zoom. So that's the first one. Getting a teacher. Talaqi, Quran must be accessed or shared or learned through talaqi, which means that you are directly in front of a teacher. But if you can't meet him in person or her in person, then you can go and subscribe to a Zoom with a qualified teacher. So that's the third piece of advice. The fourth piece of advice is, if you'd like to memorize a certain verse, make sure that you read the line no less than 20 times. Right? So fluency has to be there. So if you're reading this from Surah Al-Baqarah, for example, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Make sure you repeat it 20 times before you move on to the next one, and make sure that you read it correctly to your teacher. So that's the fourth piece of advice. Read it 20 times minimally. And lastly, if you want to retain your memorization of the Quran, it's best to revise at least 1 or 2 ajza every single day. So if you memorize one page, make sure that you try to repeat it more than 100 times, for one single page. It's not about how much you memorize, it's how much you retain, because memorization is honestly really easy. Once you get used to it, it's really easy. But the most difficult part for me, and obviously a lot of people out there, is just to retain what you've memorized. Life gets in the way, and for most people they quit. But as long as you're consistent with, a simple routine that you can follow, the Prophet ﷺ said, أَحَبُّ الْأَعْمَالُ إِلَى اللَّهِ أَدْوَمُهَا وَإِنْ قَلَّ. The most beloved of actions to Allah are the actions that are small but continuous. So try this and let me know how it goes.